Okay, we're live. Welcome everybody to this week's Azure and AI Show. And with me today is Seena Khan. And Seena is going to do some stuff on power cards. And we have Joseph with us there. And Joseph is going to do some stuff with Copilot. And I'll probably join in with him and have a few things to share with you as well on Copilot. So, Seena, if you want to share your screen with us.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Thanks, Frank. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. Let you know there when it comes up.
Sure.
Yep, we got it there on screen. I can see your screen. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation, Frank.
Yep.
Hello, all. Today I'm going to present Power Apps cards. So maybe all of you knows about Power Apps cards. This is we are using to send cards to teams for particular details. Okay, if you want to display some details to the group of users, or if you want to send some information directly after getting or after adding some data into your database, so then you want to send some confirmation or send some info, means the confirmation emails to your users. Okay, so for these purposes we are using Power Apps cards. It's actually a next level from adaptive cards. So if you are well versed in now adaptive cards, you must know about the Power Up cards also. So this is actually um, this 2024 Wave 2 releases. One of the highlights of this Power Apps is Power Apps cards. So before preview was available, but now it is fully fledged application. It is there, so you can use it. So this is the Power Apps environment, and here I'm going to create Power Apps card. So before that, I have a table in my Dataverse. So let me show that table first. You know how to create a table in Dataverse. So this is my Dataverse, and here by clicking on this new table, and here you can see create new tables, then table advanced properties, and create a virtual table. So different types of tables you can create here: a normal table, elastic table, virtual table, standard table, etc. Now here I have already created a table for time consuming actually. So it will take much time. So for that, to avoid that, okay, I just created it. So the table name is inventory data. This is my table. And these are the columns of this table. Normally I'm using majorly I'm using these columns: name, department, unit price, quantity, and total price. So this is for to add a new inventory, or to add uh, if you want to purchase, or if your organization wants to purchase some inventory, so for different departments. So for that, so here, this is just a showcase for that. Now I'm going to use this table for developing or for creating Power Apps cards. So now going back to Power Apps cards. So here you can see, click on more, and here in this more, so you can see there are so many features available. You can pin it also, like, okay, it's not available in this list, then you can pin it also, like, so frequently you are using what are the features of this Power Apps environment, so you can use that. So here it is, cards. I have already a card which is available. Now I'm going to create a new card. So for that, click on plus new card, and here you can provide your card name. So I'm providing my card name as inventory card information, or yeah, inventory card. So this card is using for entering data into that Dataverse table. That Dataverse table is inventory data. So no need to provide any card description. If you want to provide card description, that is not mandatory actually. So you can provide. Then click on create. This is the Power App Studio where you can design your card. So these are the controls for display, for input, and for layouts. Okay, what type of layouts you want to incorporate in this card. You can select that, or else for input, like for data input, you're using this, and then to display text, label, image, and media we are using. So now here this card title is for, so this card we are using for entering data into inventory data table. Now here I'm going to design this card. So for that, firstly, this is a text label. So you can see here this is a text label, and here I'm going to provide the name. You can add from here as well, or else you can add from here. So in any other way. So here, let me check this column. So the same name columns. So these same columns I'm providing there. So name, department, unit price, quantity, and total price. So here the first would be name. Then I'm adding input type as text input. Then here again going for display text label. Next column name is department. Department also it's a text input. Then again go for unit price. Unit price is a number input, so I'm providing number input. Then again text label is for quantity, providing number input again. Then again text label for total price. Here number input. And at the end of this controls, I'm providing a button. And this button title is submit. Okay, so this is my card now. So here it is: name, department, unit price, quantity, and total price. So these are the columns. So this card we are using for saving data or sending data to the Dataverse table. You can cards we can use for retrieving data from Dataverse table, and then we can send that information to Teams group or emails as well. So this is a different way post I'm using. Now I didn't do any program here. So for entering data into the Dataverse table, we should have to provide a program or a formula. So I'm using here collect function. Then what's your Dataverse table name, inventory data, or the collection name. Then here provide the columns name, and here, so now it is not showing this it is showing some errors here. Okay, why it is showing some errors? Can you see anyone? Because I just created the card only, and here in the Dataverse there is a table, but in this Power App Studio we didn't add the connection of this table. Okay, so it is showing, so name is not invalid, inventory data is not recognized. So we should have to add the data here. Okay, so add data. Here I have these four connections only now, so it is showing these four connections. So now I'm taking Microsoft Dataverse. Click OK. It will show all the tables available in this Dataverse. Now you can search your table, inventory data. So it is listed here and then just select. So your inventory data is connected with this app. Okay. Now I'm going to formulate it again. Now what you can see, inventory data is appeared. Name, and here the field is text input 1. We can rename the field as well, the name of this control. Otherwise you can keep it as it is, but you should have to provide the exact same name. Text input 1, comma department, text input 2, comma unit price. This is number input, this is not text input. So number input 1, then quantity, number input 2, then total price, number input 3. Close the bracket. Okay, and terminate your formula or the code. So here, this is for passing your whatever the data, whatever the values you are entering over here, it will save into your Dataverse table. So now I'm going to save this card. So it's saved. I'm going to play. Here I'm entering, so just for testing this card, entering the data, name, desktop, and this is for ID, and here unit price, then here quantity, then total price, then okay, and I'm submitting this. So it's clear now, this all fields. You can check over here. So it is, yeah, the memory it is showing. Okay, we have entered all this, and then okay, viewer who has entered all this, and it is showing this also, and then in JSON format. Okay, so here you can take this as an adaptive card as well. Okay, so by using the same JSON. Now here, check your inventory data table. Yeah, I can see here. So this is the row I have added now. So this is the way we can use Power Apps cards. This is just for entering the data into Dataverse. As a form, it is working. So same way you can use this card for like event registration. So here, for example, you have New Year event you are conducting, and for that, okay, you just want to create this adapt this Power Apps cards, and you need to send this link to your group or anywhere. You can do that as well. So how can you do that? So here it is, send in Teams or here. Okay, so just to copy this URL, and in your Teams, so if there is a group, yeah, again. send this as like, okay, and provide a subject and provide, you can like, okay, so what is this link for, and they can click on this link and enter the same thing there, if it is a registration or for a new event, or like if it's an inventory group also, you can just create this card and send this card to the group, and they can use that card to just enter, so they don't need to access the entire power apps application itself, just simply by card itself they can do that. Any questions?
None from my end, except that Sina, each time you have the mic, you show us new things, and you know I'm your student already, so I will come to your DM very soon to come and ask questions for that. But honestly, this was quite clear.
Yes, very good. And as Joseph said, a very clear and perfect demo. Everything worked perfect. Okay.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah, those live demos are hard to get right. Uh, yeah. So, Joseph, do you want to start your one there on the Copilot?
Yes, of course. So today
And if
I'll be speaking more from the admin end, not an end user side. So I will just share my screen now.
okay.
Shoom. I should have my screen coming on now. I guess my screen
Yeah,
is up, Frank.
we can see it there. Yeah.
Okay, so I have only one screen. So once I display the other page, I may not be able to see what is happening here. So just in case you need my attention, just speak up, please. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So this is the last time on this call we tried to do cmd.ms, and yeah, so we came here to get to the admin center. So when you come to the admin center, one very good thing in tenants where you have Copilot is you will have Copilot up here. But this Copilot is not like what you see um, on the regular pages, or maybe office.com, or maybe pages like um, your teams where you have all of those. Is a different version of, I'm not saying version of it actually, but it does like something outrightly different from the conventional co-pilots that you see in usage apps. So I'm going to click on it just so we see where it's going to take us to. So first off is going to be showing us discovery. So discovery just means um, now people have been using Copilot in your organization for a while. You're paying $20 per user per month. So you want to know the adoption status of Microsoft 365 Copilot in your office environment. How well are people using the licenses that you are paying for? Are they really making use of it? And if they are, where are they really making use of this application? So that's what this is. So this is manage everything relating to Copilot, to view insight about how people are using and learning about Copilot, assign license, find trainings, change settings, and more is what you can see here. So if you scroll down the page, you're going to see adoption by apps. So you would see any app, you see how well they use it in Word. So for active users, we have 3 persons that are using Copilots in Word. This is because the environment is a test environment, and we have very few users here. So you can see active users are 3, while the total number of users I have are 9. So, but the ones that are using it are 3. I have 5 total licenses, but only 3 are making use of it. So, if you come to Microsoft Teams, just 2 out of 9 persons are using Copilots in Teams. So, in Outlook, we have 2 persons making use of Outlook, and then in PowerPoint, we have only one. Perhaps I'm just the only one because of our demo and me preparing for trainings, just me. And then Excel, I think it should be one also because just me. Then business, I mean, for charts, that's your first log on the charts. Nobody has used it on OneNote so far for the past 4 months. Nobody has used it. Therefore, loops also, nobody has used Copilot on loop. So this is telling you like the app, just each of the applications. Total numbers of persons you have is this one, and then the tip blue here is the number of users that are making use of the application in those apps. So far, this is saying that I have assigned um, 8 licenses so far out of 25 Copilot licenses that I have in this environment, and then I have 17 unassigned licenses that I can still assign to users. So coming down is the resources that you may want to use to learn about Copilot. So Copilot Lab, this is where you can just click and then it will take you to Copilot Lab. Then for documentation for IT team, just to know about Copilot, this is where you're going to check as an admin to know what's up with Copilot documentation for you, and then create a source of training for IT admins about how to prepare for and manage Copilot. So this is actually a new thing. Like Copilot is new compared to all other Microsoft applications. So I'm sure this is going to be like a very great resource to anyone. So I'm just curious to click on it and see if it's going to lead us. So this is taking us to learn.microsoft.com and specifically about Copilot, and these are trainings. How does M365 Copilot works? How Microsoft protects your data? Because data protection is actually one of those biggest questions that people are asking. We are giving our data out to your artificial intelligence. How protected is our data? So if I were an administrator that would be presenting or pitching for Copilot to be adopted in my environment because of the benefits, I may want to also come here to come and see Microsoft commitment to responsible AI. So and then how Microsoft 365 Copilot protects organization data. You know the mechanism. Of course, you can just go ahead and study about those in details to see those questions about data and what Microsoft is saying about it. On the right hand side here, you can see a lot about the information that you may want to see. If you want to jump, right, you can just quickly jump to wherever you want to jump to. So that is for that. Then getting ready for M35 Copilot is speaking to those who are currently not using. I'm sure it's going to be nice licensing options. So those questions around licensing, you could actually find them here. So understanding license requirement for Copilot. So this is actually a very nice place to know that if you are for business, you need all these apps for business will allow you, as add Copilot as add-on. Then business standard up. That means that if you have business basic, then you should not be talking about Copilot. You have to upgrade. So this is like a place where you want to speak to your comments team to say, hey, this is what and what you need to pay for, and this is the amount of all of those. So that is for getting ready and then onboarding and engage and deliver impact and then extend and optimization. I think optimization is very key. And that was why the report side of it was telling us, hey, please check how many people are using it against how many people are active in your environment. So the optimizing $20 per user per month is something that calls for something. It needs a lot of money if you have a good number of users. So coming to this other place, I've opened here. So that is about the overview of it. Then discover what can be in discover it. So explore Copilot capability. So learn how to use Copilot. So this is still just trying to educate the admin to give him you an upper hand on how to use it. And if you see, this is still taking us to how to connect the right tools, how Copilot dashboard we buy inside our Copilot Success Kit, and then Success Amplified Copilot Roadmap. I'm sure this roadmap is very important because it gets you the latest updates about what is coming soon for Copilot in various products. And I'm sure that Frank, you may want to, as Copilot MVP, I'm sure that yes, you may want to be monitoring this just so you can always give us like a new update. And yeah, that Microsoft has actually made public. Then just after discovery is the settings. So for the settings, I see a lot of things here, like a lot of things that we can actually take our time to demystify. A lot that we can actually be talking about the Copilot diagnostic tool. Uh, so this is truly very useful because it sends diagnostic log from a Copilot on behalf of individual users who are having issues. So of course, this is like an automated tool that can help you. So what is it going to do for you? So when users have an issue and are not able to send feedback and diagnostic log to Microsoft, you can actually submit a verbose log on their behalf. So the data will also include prompts and generated responses um, like if you want to give a feedback on like one of the things that Frank did on the call one time that we were trying to use Copilot to, I think it was to bring up some prompts on um, PowerPoint, and then we give feedback on that. So if your users are not able to do that, then of course you can do that for them as an admin. So if the feedback is turned off for your organization, you can turn it back on by following this link, right? So you can collect and send log on behalf of specific user. As an administrator, you can excuse me, you can actually do all this for users. So that's about you sending reports on behalf of users from your organization. So for Copilot in Bing and Windows. So today's evening, I was speaking about Copilot in Edge, and this is where it actually speaks to those who have the paid version, and I think it also give an education about those who are using the free version. So for here, it's a piece of information for us. Copilot on Bing Search, then on Edge and on Windows. For Windows 11, it actually comes along with it. So Copilot in Bing, in Edge, and in Windows AI. Power Chat for web. Copilot is available for everyone and does not require people to have a license. And this was my major conversation today. So for Microsoft Edge, you can actually use it without a license, and the AI tool there, I mean, it's really superb. It's hard to believe that those are actually free. A lot of things you can do with it. So Microsoft offer Copilot with commercial data protection that is on by default for users who have eligible licenses. So for those who are using enterprise license or paid licenses, this is talking, I mean, commercial licenses, this is speaking to you like one extra layer beyond the free version. So then again, this is specifically talking about Copilot on Edge, give you that AI experience, your charts, for work with like enterprise data protection. To configure AI feature for Copilot in Edge, you need configuration profile and all of those, right? So it's actually great there when you just take a look. Copilot in Microsoft Teams is very important. When you click on this Teams meeting, so when you have meetings in Microsoft Teams, there is an AI generated notes that comes up for you, which is different from transcripts. So in one of our sessions here, we also showed it on how you can actually compare your transcripts side by side with the AI notes. I would say once the meeting organizer has the required license, then it's going to have the minutes, and that's actually a time saver for secretaries and whoever takes minutes of meetings. It's like a very accurate. So long you speak, you set it to be the proper language you're speaking. So the good thing is you have option to set the language you are speaking so that the transcription as well as the AI generated notes can pick exactly what you're saying. So for example, you are speaking Hindu, you should be able to set it to Hindu. If you are speaking German, set it to German so that when it is picking your voice from the transcription, it will actually understand the language you are speaking so that it can efficiently transcribe what you are doing, as well as from the transcription generates the AI. So what explaining here is that if your transcription is turned off, then you cannot have AI generated notes. So they are they are not they cannot be separated. I don't actually know if it is mutually exclusive. I was trying to remember a particular, we can't exclude one from the other. So if you must if you must have to enable, if you want to use the AI generated notes, or you want to have AI generated, then transcription is compulsory that you should turn on. And I don't see why transcription will be turned off and then you have Copilot. You are not optimizing the license, right? Because the AI generated note for me is one of those most useful things that I can ask for. When you have meetings for 2 hours and Copilot is just going to give you very detailed meeting summary that you can pick what was said in the call, including tasks that we assigned and follow-ups that were set, right? So having said that, I will just click on this, but I hope it's not going to prompt me for authentication because my phone is just at the living room. So let me see what happens. So when you click on that, so what happens is it takes you to the Teams admin center. You can see the URL is loading, admin.teams.microsoft.com, policies. It's taking you to meetings, then to edit, and then so on. So it's going to prompt me, but I'm just going to leave this and take you to this place because I think I was signed it there, yeah, to that particular place when I was trying to check out some things. So one major thing that you have to do for you to be able to have the co-pilots work on your Teams meeting to generate the AI note for you is that you must turn on your meeting transcription. So if we come up here, meeting engagement, I think it should be something. So if this had taken us to where we are going to, of course, I don't want to leave my seat and go type 42. It should have just take us to that particular point where we need to turn it on, and this is actually under the Teams meeting policy, which we're going to take our time to look for. So I'll just come up here. I think I don't mind starting from up here in the meeting policy. So it's taking me to the global organization wide meeting policy. So when we speak about this, if there are users that have co-pilots and others don't have, and I don't really know why you will not enable transcription, but if there is a reason why you will not enable transcription, then you can create a custom policy, and then the users that have co-pilot license in the organization, you can have them in that custom policy and then turn on the meeting transcription just so these users can experience the use of Copilot in meeting in AI meeting generation. So I'm just going to check through. I know it's been a while. I've gone to the Teams admin center to look at some stuff, but yeah, something that we can quickly see. So coming down here, recording and transcription, this is it. So meeting recording is turned on first, but this is not compulsory, right? So you can turn off recording if you don't want people to be able to record their calls, but just make sure that transcription is turned on. So this has to be turned on. So if this is turned off, then what this means is that your Copilot will not be able to generate the AI notes. So you must have to turn it on. If I were signed into Teams, I would have shown you that. But I don't know if that's going to ask me for authentication. If it does, then I cannot go there to show you how it looks because I need my gadget to be able to authenticate through. But when you do that, which we have already shown in this event just very recently, you can check that out. It's very, very interesting thing. So let me just wait. We may just be lucky and maybe there is maybe to just take us to the Teams clients that we can look at it. Okay, cool. Cool. to ask me to sign, which I don't bother about, because if I click on this sign in, it will take me back to this. So since we are here and it's just asking me to authenticate, I just want to show you what I want to show you. So this is let's just say exchange online training. So this was a training that we had, right? Because transcription was enabled. So I can click on view recap. So if I click on view recap, and then I'll go to AI notes. So this should give me the AI notes that was generated by Copilot. So except it's just going to be hinging on the fact that I'm not signed in. But let's see what happens here. But meanwhile, this is not my major point of call today. Just trying to show you that you can actually do that. So if I come back and it works, then it's fine. But if it doesn't, of course, this is where you can find your AI notes. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just check one more, please. Then if it doesn't come up, then I know why. And it is just one reason, and it's because I am not signed in. We couldn't load AI notes. It is because I am not signed in. And when I hit on sign in here, I believe it's going to be asking for. So I'm going to leave here and then come back to where we are here. So we'll just come back quickly to the Teams Admin Center. So in summary, for you to be able to have that option of AI notes, then transcription must be turned on. So that
One
is
question.
okay, please.
Yeah, Joseph. So for here, for example, this transcription, you have a meeting with a group. Okay. So
Yeah.
that recording and transcription you have enabled for the Copilot. Okay.
Mhm.
Then yeah, then you have another meeting also there. Okay, but with a different group. So the first group named, for example, A group, and the second is B group. So can any of the B group members can get to know the details of the first meeting through Copilot?
So if once you are not in a meeting,
That means I'm just asking about the security of that. So for
so once
example, this B group should not understand or should not know about the meeting details of the first group.
so if you are not in a meeting, you will not have access to the chat. And if you don't have access to the chat, there is no how you can have access to the meeting. So I have my phone with me. We may just go back now so that I can authenticate fully and let us see what we have there. So I'm just coming back to Teams. I'm no longer afraid to sign in. I have my device with me
Okay.
here right now. So it's 11. Just give me a second. 11. So doing this. So Seena, I got your point. So I'm going to show you two or three meetings that I have, and then we can look at them together. So if you were invited to a meeting, depend on the meeting options that was set up, then you will need to be in a, for example, I have this one here. I have exchange online training. This should be day 2. So the people that will have access to these charts would definitely be those people that were part of the meeting, right? There are people that had access to this, that were invited to this meeting, which are these people.
Okay.
Just waiting. Which are these people? However, even if somebody was not here in the meeting and I want to have the person, for example, if this guy is not supposed, I don't want him to still have access to the conversation on this meeting chat, I can just decide to remove him. If I want to add somebody who was not in the meeting to have access to the conversations that are here, to the transcription, to the attendee, I mean, to the transcription or to the AI notes, then the person has to be added. But for the attendance, this one is only available for the meeting organizer. So now,
Okay.
now that I'm signed in, let me view recap now. I should see something in a bit. But the summary of all this is you must be, I don't know why this is not available. I think there's an issue because it's not supposed to. But let me just quickly look at the recent one that I had, maybe this progress meeting here. except I've also messed with with the things because I do a lot with this just to find out what's happening. Sometimes they break something. Okay, so this meeting was not recorded. I think I know why those ones happen. So I will go to a meeting that I'm very sure that, so recording must not be on. So if I remember to turn on transcription, so I think I should make this very clear. You can enable transcription as an admin, but if the users don't turn on transcription, they will not have the AI notes, right? I think this should be very, very important to be mentioned. Those meetings I don't have the AI notes is simply because transcription was not turned on by those who were in the meeting. Okay. So but most time when you turn on recording, transcription automatically turn on. But you can turn on transcription without enabling recording. But whenever you enable transcription, the AI note is going to get generated, and this is the AI note that was generated. And if you look at the AI note, it's going to be like super clear and direct to the point. So
Okay.
you have to turn on transcription, and the only people that have access to the transcription are those like Seena's question based on security. Yes, there is a transcript. Who is going to have access to the transcript? Of course, it is only the members of that team. So if I go to SharePoint training day 4, this meeting was recorded, and then you come to view recap. Where's view recap for me? So if I view recap, also because I am very sure that this was recorded, then this is the transcription for a 2 hours meeting. So everything that was discussed within that 2 hours definitely is within what I have copied here now. So you can use this for your minutes, and then I can tell you for free that it is very, very accurate. Look at the tasks that we assigned that day: SharePoint migration, preview of SharePoint migration, and all of this was given to Joseph. Then to do this and this was given to entire team members, and so on and so forth. So, but before you can have this, the admin must first of all enable transcription. And before, and even if admin enable transcription, you as a meeting organizer would also have to turn on transcription while the meeting is going on. But when you turn on recording, most of the time transcriptions automatically start up. So that is it. So this is from the other side. So I was just talking about this. So data security and compliance. I'm sure that people want to really look at this, and as administrator, just as we showed in the documentation, they want to check this. So, but the very major points that I want us to look at today is the co-pilot self purchase. I have had interaction with someone in an organization that says that my organization is not willing to buy Copilot because of the cost, but I do a lot of computation with Excel, and I do a lot of PowerPoint presentation to people. Is there a way I can buy Copilot? Before I saw this, my advice to him was whether I was going to do like the personal one. But unfortunately, if he buys the personal one, then he will not be able to spool in the office data into it. So, but when I came across this, it looks very interesting. That means that if your admin is not willing to, is if your organization is not able to buy Copilot license or have not seen the need to buy your Copilot license, and you feel like buying it, then what this is saying is Microsoft 365 Copilot self-service purchase, and this is very interesting that we look at. So you can turn it on. So ideally, I mean, by default, it is allowed. So M365 Copilot self-service purchase give users the flexibility to acquire the product without an administrator's help. So this can help admin understand and manage the demand. So if you want to allow people to go ahead and use their card, buy Copilot and use, and then you can allow. But if you don't, you can turn on to say no self-service purchase are allowed for this product. But in some cases, free trial might be available and users might be able to request a paid license from an administrator. So this is self-service. Just go ahead. So Frank, I'm sure you have an experience about this that you may want to share.
Yeah, that's definitely very, very worthwhile knowing.
Okay. So if that is it, so if you look at this, right, for me, I think it's a topic of conversation. Um, Frank, looking at this, right? Let me just take a screen grab of these parts so that we can look at it when I come back to my main screen, because it's something that I want us to maybe wrap up the call with today. So this is the point here. So Frank, we have this option, right? What is your opinion about it to allow users? Does it mean that this will allow users to go ahead, buy license? And if definitely it is, I'm wondering how they will be able to do that purchase, right? And then secondly, do you see any risk associated with it? But I'm sure that yes, as a user, it is saying that you can buy it if organization has not decided to buy for you. And then and also that means you're going to put in your card detail. Um, is it enrolling to the admin center, grabbing your card detail? And if you want to cancel your purchase, how do you cancel? Just in case you are no longer interested, or just in case your organization decided to now go for it, where are they able to manage this billing? I think it's something that we need to look out for and present in the future, just so we can be aware of it, right?
Yeah, that's definitely worth looking into. Is there any feedback button on that to ask the product teams?
Let's go there and check. I think there's something also that I need to quickly show us, and that's very important. And so for here, there is right no option for now to give a feedback about this, or perhaps maybe we I can try this out myself to go to raise support request if I will get response on how this goes, or probably give like a general feedback from there. So I may just need to do this so that I can get inputs from the Microsoft guys. So this is just what we look at, and then pin copilot. Choose whether users have copilot pinned to navigation bar in M365. So I think this is a nice thing that admins may want to also look at, saying that you should pin copilot to navigation bar and window taskbar to make it easier for people to do. So I think by default it is coming by pin copilot. I mean, it's coming by do not pin copilot. So let's look at what is here. On the navigation bar, pin copilot navigation bar to make it easier for people in your organization to access in Teams, Outlook, and then in M365 app on the web, desktop, as well as the mobile. So users with a license for M365 Copilot will have it pinned by default. So I think it's something that we may want to try out. I feel it's nice. I know there is a VM where I am signed into this app. I want to see this behavior. So do not pin, which is the default. What is it saying here? Admin can still pin Copilot in M365. So what this means is that even if you say users should not be able to pin, but admin can go ahead and pin. So on the window taskbar, you can pin Microsoft Copilot on any app. On any app. Wow, that's great. To the Windows taskbar so that it is easy to find outside of the. So I think these are user experience that we may want to explore. For me, I think it's good. I'll just hit on what's recommended. Copilot to the navigation bar is recommended, but by default it is here. So turning this on, I think is something I want to explore to see how users can look at it. And then there is a note here to say something about configure the application pin to the taskbar for Windows 10. And then if you are using Windows 10, you can check. If you are using Windows 11 also, you can check how it does, right? And I think it is something really worth looking into. So that is for Copilot pin. So this is web search for Microsoft Copilot, and it provides Copilot with additional function by allowing access to web search. Yeah, I think this is speaking to the is it the Bing search? Let's see what is inside of there. So, but in all, these are most of the things that you want to check out as an administrator to see how you can improve your user experience and how you can maximize the use of Copilot in your environment. So, web search for M365 Copilot and Microsoft. So, Copilot can reference web content to improve the quality of responses to user forms. So, that's actually something good. So if you come to Copilot, if you come to report also, you would see Copilot there. But one thing I see about the usage report is there are things that you should be aware of as an administrator. So down below, I think I will see Copilot. Yeah, this is it. So this is more granular, right? When it comes to reporting, it is more granular in the sense that like it gives a breakdown. We can see in Teams is showing, and then yes, one thing that is very important is that, for example, you are seeing that these are username, and they are showing user ID. They are encrypted, right? So if you come to usage, for example, for Copilot, you would see all of this. But to better understand who is using it and when it was used, so Wednesday, November 27th, who was that and who was at this date? Because they are all encrypted. So just very quickly, I'm going to show you where you can allow this to be able to display the name and the detail, but these are not looking friendly. But yeah, so if you come to settings, you go to org settings. There's just one place I'm trying to remember. I just okay. Can you just load up for me? Let me do a refresh. So I'm just coming to setting, org setting. I think it's reports. Uh, just hold. It reports. Yeah, this reports here. So if you want those names to display to know who is using them, so you're going to do so display concealed user group and site. So you just uncheck this and you save this. So what this is going to do for you is if you come back to reports, usage reports, and then we are coming to look at Copilot usage. So this is we know that this number of users are making use of Copilot, but who are they, right? So that is where you can come here and see that okay, we can see that, of course, you can see those displays of all those numbers as turned into users. So what this is telling us is that this user, Winger, on Wednesday 27th, he used Copilot, and then this was the last activity. Then Rafiah rather, used Copilot on November 2nd, 2023, and then and so on. So this person used the lab rat guy used. So if I come to Joseph, yeah, you can see that November 27th, this is just because almost on a daily basis I use Copilot. So like 3 days ago, capturing that, like I used Copilots, right? So I'm sure that the ones I've used in, you know, today, they're going to get captured. Now, so this will actually help you as an admin to be able to know who and when or this was used. So you can even go as far as exporting the results. So it's going to be like a CSV file that you can also now filter, and perhaps you need to send, maybe there is an audit going on, you can equally go ahead and by virtue of audit submit to your audit team by after cleaning up the profile. So you can, I'm just trying to open the CSV file now. So this is it. So it's looking good. So I can just close this and then just okay, then come here to click on the data just to open it to see that okay, reported period is 30 days, and then who used last activity user is this, and then you can look at dates and then You can see our last activity on Copilot. Last use, this was Copilot in PowerPoint when they used it. Then you can also look at last activity dates on Outlook when they used it on Outlook. Last activity days on OneNote, nobody used it on OneNote. Then last activity on. So this will actually be very useful to you. And you know the good thing about this is you can also now use Copilot to make sense of this by asking Copilot that. Okay, so let's just quickly grab this report. So if this report now is something that you want to present or you want to make sense of, you can as well now just take it to your environment and use Copilot on the web. Just look at, I mean, to look at your Excel, right? So if the time permits us, I may still show us, but if it doesn't, but that's how to dig deep into the granular settings regarding the just give me a second to authenticate the reports part of it. So it is really, really beautiful to know how to administer Copilot as an administrator and know how to track the usage of users and see how you can optimize shortcuts inside to now say, okay, what's happening? What's going on? Why are you not using Copilot as much as you ought to use it? Because we pay this amount for it and we really appreciate if you make use of it. So things around that would be very useful. I'm just having like multiple authentication prompts because of security. But so that's it. Of course, let me not take more time so that we can yeah. So Frank, please you can have the mic and that's all we can cover for the day.
Yeah, that's very good information there. Some of that stuff I never even knew was there, Joseph. So thank you from the co-pilot side. Um, some of the stuff you done today there actually gave me a good few ideas on co-pilot in Edge. You know, the way if you use Outlook, we'd say with Copilot and you use it to generate an email.
Yeah.
I actually used Copilot on Edge to actually create an email for me by just giving
Mm-hmm.
it a prompt, create an email, um, and it done the exact same thing as that it would have done it in
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Copilot and Outlook. So, you know, whatever you do inside in Word with Copilot, it can nearly replicate it on the free one as well, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, other stuff it can do as well is you can actually get the free Copilot on Edge to generate images for you as well, which is
Yeah, yeah, that's very important. Yeah,
yeah,
of course. Yeah,
and
that's it.
because you know with Excel there now as well, you said Excel, you can go into the free Copilot and you can ask it to generate formulas for Excel for you.
Mm,
Yeah. So if you had column A, column B, column C, and you want to get the total of the whole lot of them, you can just ask it for, you know, formula. Give it to you. So some great stuff to investigate there.
yeah.
And
So,
the translation with Teams there as well is a good one. And Dan just added this thing in here for us as well. Teams.cloud.microsoft has started to work in browsers. Um, so redirect isn't in place yet, so you have to type it in to test. And here's a link there for the techcommunity.microsoft.com. Log Microsoft 365, introducing cloud unified domains for Microsoft 365 apps. So something to check out there.
definitely.
Cloud.
Okay. Okay. So guys, we're up on the hour. So thanks everybody again for joining us, and we'll be back here again next week. And thank you, Seena, for the power cards. My first time seeing them, so thank you again. And Joseph, thank you very much for your presentation as
Yeah.
well. Very
So,
insightful.
so far. Thank you too.
Okay, so